This episode of The Young Turks, brought to you by Thrillist.
A man by the name of John Thompson spent 14 years on death row for a crime he did not commit. Seems like we're doing more and more of these stories on a daily basis. Well, it turns out that he was wrongfully convicted of murdering a hotel executive. And the reason why he was wrongfully convicted is because the prosecutors hid DNA evidence and witness testimony that would have proven his innocence. Okay, so what he did is he sued the prosecutors. And according to what the jury ruled, he was supposed to be awarded $14 million, which I think is fair. $1 million for every year he spent in prison when he was not supposed to be there. He came so close to death row. In fact, he was supposed to be executed in a few weeks, and then they proved his innocence. Okay, so he sued, and the jury decided, yes, we are going to award him the $14 million. Well, this case went to the Supreme Court, and what did the Supreme Court rule? Nah, he couldn't prove that there was deliberate indifference. So sorry, no $14 million for you.
Okay, now let me tell you the details of the case so you can make your own judgment on whether there's deliberate indifference. There was 4 different prosecutors that had the blood that did not match his blood. Okay, 4 of them. And they're like, yeah. Well, let's not give that to the defense. That would prove he's innocent. And then, that's not all. They had an eyewitness testimony saying that the guy who actually did the crime was 6 feet tall and had very close-cut hair. At the time, he had, the guy in this case had an afro, a significant afro, and was 5'8". Look, without the blood, you can say, hey, you know what, maybe there was a little bit of a mistake. But it doesn't matter. First of all, the prosecution has to share that evidence with the defense either way. The prosecution's job is not to just get a conviction. It's to serve the truth. It's to serve justice. By law, he must share that with the defense. He chose not to share it. But with the blood, it is inarguable. They knew he wasn't the right guy, but they hid it anyway. And what do the conservative justices on the Supreme Court, led by Clarence Thomas, say? I don't know. I mean, is that really a pattern? Could they really show a pattern from the prosecutors? I'm not sure. A jury said it, but I don't believe it. And by the way, to show a pattern, they also introduced cases from the same city with similar results. The prosecutors doing the same thing. Clarence Thomas was like, I don't know, no, not buying it. The guy gets nothing.
This case, it just shows you blatant corruption in the justice system. And I love how the Supreme Court, the conservatives in the Supreme Court, are supporting it. You know, if I were in the Supreme Court, I would do everything possible to make sure these prosecutors lose their jobs. Hiding this evidence, there is absolutely no excuse for it. I know that there were absolutely no mistakes made. This was done on purpose. As you mentioned, there were 4 prosecutors. It was not one prosecutor. It wasn't like this, blood test was like the results were sketchy. Just to give you an example, so it turns out that the murderer had a type B blood, right? Had type B blood. Thompson had type O. So, the results of the test weren't sketchy at all. It was just clear evidence that the prosecutors purposely hid. They should not be prosecutors. Anyway, Jayar, did you want to say something?
Not only should they not be prosecutors. I mean, this goes to a different level. Like you said, it's a part of the law that they have to, especially when they have this kind of evidence, to the contrary to what they're trying to prove. I mean, at this point, they sent this guy very purposely to death. They should be in prison for 15 years.
Yeah. Forget
losing their jobs. You lose your jobs and you go to prison. I'm not putting you on death row, but you almost killed a man. No, you're going to prison, man. That's attempted murder. It's in my mind, that's the same thing. You're going to prison, dude. You 20 years. You're done. I hate that.
Yeah, no, and I've never been more against death row or the death penalty. Can you imagine? He came within weeks of being executed for a crime he did not commit. I mean, how many other cases are there that are similar to this?
Right, and instead of going in that direction, the 5 conservatives on the Supreme Court said no, he should get nothing.
Thrillist gives you great suggestions for where to go when you're looking to have a little fun.
Best new bars, restaurants, events, services, anything that you're looking for, Thrillist has it. You sign up through Thrillist.com/TYT.
Go to Thrillist because it's the illest.
Think about it. That was good. That was good. You are the world's largest dork.